I'm Bruce Marshall, and this is a Marshall Minute Brampton Now update as of May 10th, 2020, a COVID-19 special report for Brampton. Coming up in this report, I run down as much of the Brampton-based information as I can fit in one report. We'll have a chat with a mediator about one of the less dramatic options for conflict between landlords and tenants. Salute one group of our frontline workers who has so far gone unheralded, and close out with a classic Canadian song from some Canadian music pioneers and their American admirer that first hit the charts 50 years ago this weekend. That's coming up in this Brampton Now Update. A reminder, Brampton Now Update is now on YouTube at Brampton Now Update. Here's what's happening on the home front in Brampton. On Wednesday, Mayor Brown provided his weekly update. The weather is changing. We're watching the U.S. do things that just aren't supported by the facts. And here in Brampton, guidance has not changed. We're being urged to stay the course, stay home, leave the house only for essentials. Wednesday also marked the 100th day of the activation of the City of Brampton Emergency Management Group, which first met back in late January. The province announced this week that garden centers would be allowed to open this week. Next week, retail stores with a street entrance will be allowed to make curbside deliveries in the province's measured response to reopening of the province. Then on Thursday, the province announced a plan to return doing elective surgeries. The plan is really a checklist of things that a hospital must have accomplished to be in the best defensive position to resume surgeries. The Premier also warned that cottage country will not be opened up for the May 2-4 weekend. Big box hardware stores are now reopened for this weekend. Here's a message from the region of Peel. I want to pay tribute to some of our COVID-19 heroes who have been getting a bit of a bad rap, as I've observed anyway on social media. The Bylaw Enforcement Officers. So let's look at what a Bylaw Enforcement Officer's job is. Their job is to get you to follow the law. Giving out tickets and laying charges, that's a last resort. What they really want to do is they want you to follow the law and comply with the bylaws. But when being reasonable has failed, they have recourse to things like tickets and charges. So we hear stories about our bylaw officers drunk on their new powers. Well, you know what? That's a load of bull. They've got too much to do. There are still too many bloody idiots who will not take this seriously. And the people who have to deal with those idiots are the city's idiot masters, the bylaw officers. So to you guys, the bylaw officers, thanks for everything that you do to keep us safe. There's no question that COVID-19 has created many problems, not the least between landlords and tenants, both commercial and residential. I sat down with mediator Bill McBain, whose firm Fusion Mediation is available to those who want to dial it down a bit. Landlords, tenants, COVID conflict. I asked Bill, have the rules changed entirely?
I don't think anybody knows what the rules are now because the changes are so profound because of COVID-19.
Yeah.
And the best way is for people to work amongst themselves to find agreements. The phrase you keep hearing over and over again, and it's a beautiful phrase, absolutely accurate. We are all in this together. That means not just tenants. It means landlords. It means property owners. It means small business people. It means large business. Everyone who has a space either to rent or they want to be lessees or renters need to find a security of place so they can move forward. And it's a lot easier and a lot less painful, and the relations tend to be better when they do it through mediation.
Bill McBain of Fusion Mediation Group. I have a longer version of this interview for anyone dealing with these landlord and tenant issues on the Brampton Now Update channel on YouTube. Look for the special report, Landlords, Tenants, COVID Conflict. The region of Peel is now allowing 2 extra garbage bags to go out on your regular garbage day. Check the info at the link in comments before you take anything to the recycling centers, because much has changed with respect to garbage and recycling. Brampton Transit made some changes to service this past week. Check bramptontransit.com for further information. Giving Tuesday was this past week. Regen hosting a drive-through food bank drive on Tuesday afternoon. Here's what that looked like. Now, I should tell you, I've got a little bit of inside information. Regen would like to do something like this again, but their core volunteers are stretched to the limit already. So Regen is looking for groups that can take on the staffing and execution of a food drive like the one they did last Tuesday on Giving Tuesday. Get in touch with them at regenbrampton.com. The beer stores have been accepting empties back for a few weeks now. Just 2 locations, Queen west of Kennedy and Highway 7 west of Huron, Ontario, and only during certain hours. Check the beer store website before you go. And don't be disappointed thinking that you're going to return all those empties and, say, pay off your mortgage. I thought that last week. Boy, was I surprised. $8 measly. Anyway. The Fold, the Festival of Literary Diversity, ran last weekend, their first virtual conference with 7,000 participants, 19 virtual events, and 40 authors. All their content is now up on their YouTube channel. Go to foldcanada.org for more information. It's a Canadian anniversary this weekend, the 50th anniversary of the Guess Who's American Woman going to #1 on Billboard. The first time a Canadian act accomplished that feat. That closes us out here in a moment. You know, one of the most Canadian moments in my life was interviewing Guess Who lead singer Burton Cummings about that song. The version of the Guess Who performing with Lenny Kravitz that opened the 1999 Much Music Awards closes us out. And I was there, about 10 feet away from the stage. What an electric moment, man. Please subscribe to the Brampton Now Update channel on YouTube for lots of Brampton-specific content and as much of the vital, essential, and factual information that I can find for Brampton. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you want. Stay strong, Brampton. Brampton strong. And Brampton proud. We're all in this together. I'm Bruce Marshall. Thanks for watching.
See your face no more. I got more important things to do. spend my time growing old with you now. Get away, American woman. Listen what I say. American woman, say get away. American woman, listen what I say. Don't come hanging round my door. Don't wanna see your shadow no more. Gully lights can hypnotize. Sparkle someone else's eyes. Now, get away. American woman, listen what I say.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.